Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. See Scott Disic for the fans' new video. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Keeping up with the Kardashian star Scott Disic spent Thanksgiving with someone unexpected. You'd think that Scott would be spending time with his longtime girlfriend, Sofia Richie. Well, he wasn't. He was with ex-Kourtney Kardashian and their kids instead. Besides the fact that Sofia didn't get to spend Thanksgiving with her lover, Scott, she did get to spend it with all of her family. Sofia and Scott's relationship is still good, and they've had a really progressive year. A friend of Sofia's said, "Sofia's very close to her family, so Scott knew she'd be surrounded by love and very busy. It's not as though he was leaving her alone," the friend continued. "He did promise to make it up to her. He's taking her on a trip soon. Things are still all good with them." So what's the reason Scott didn't go with her? Scott feels that his 3 kids, Mason, Penelope, and Rain, are more important. The reality star was just being a good father. He wanted to see his kids for the holiday. Going to Kris Jenner's house for Thanksgiving was just the easiest way to spend it with them. One of Scott's friends stated, "Scott did feel bad for not being with Sofia for Thanksgiving, but ultimately he wanted to be with his kids. It was so important to them that their daddy be there, and they're still his priority." As viewers of the show have seen, Scott and Kourtney get along quite well for being split. It doesn't seem to be a problem with Sofia, which is great. Fans know that Scott and Sofia are in a really good place. Even on November 4th, Sofia, Scott, and Kourtney had a friendly dinner. Viewers are just glad to see them all get along, especially for the kids' sake. Anyway, since Scott and Sofia are in such a good place, does that mean they will bring their families together for holidays in the future? Fans are very excited to see their future and how it lays out with Scott's kids. Scott Disic is known for being a troublemaker turned great dad on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. According to Jezebel, "Flip It Like Disic brings Scott together with an eclectic group including Will Ford, a former pop star, his business partner Benny, and Mickey Moore, a contractor. The group goes out and makes the flips happen, but it seems like Disic is the money guy. In the first part of the premiere episode, he says, "Most people think I'm unemployed, but my real passion is real estate." He then spends the rest of the show talking about his inspiration and just telling those on his team what to do. In the beginning, he also says, "I do know luxury and I do know how to make money." The first house they go to see, he bought without looking at it. Scott, Mickey, and Benny are a real boys club, and they love to yell at each other. Scott walks around with his team throwing out things for them to do. He makes his typical inappropriate sexual jokes. Within the first 5 minutes of the show, Kris Jenner arrives, and we forget what show we're in. The second episode is very Kourtney heavy according to the Daily Beast. As far as something fans might want to see, Radar Online reported Sofia Richie, his lady love, was cut from the show. A source said, the producers felt having her would just take away from him. This is interesting since Kris Jenner is one of the producers. With the Kardashians, French Montana, and Will Ford among the celebrities showing up on the show, he's definitely cashing in favors with famous friends. Scott Disic doesn't really have a structure for the show. You aren't sure what is going to happen while it's on. The end result comes off as an expensive hobby and less of a business. The show really just showcases that Scott has changed from the jerk he could be to the new man he is. As far as doing any of the work, he basically just supervises. It seems like this strange mixed-together reality show and fix-it-upper plot could have been on KUVTK. If Scott is looking for a storyline, maybe spending millions on houses he isn't selling isn't the best move. No matter what, the Lord Scott Disic has always been able to entertain, whether you're cringing or not. To be fair, this is just his first episode. He might win the critics over.